now, coming to you live from atop the Lavender Town Radio Tower, it's the one, the only, Puclpodcast.
It's PucL! PucL! It's PucL! PucL! Pokemon Underground Champions League, oh yeah! PucL! PucL.
Welcome to another episode of the PUCL Podcast. I am your host, Trainer Thatch, here today with my spectacular, as always, co-host. We've got the one and only Lynian.
Good morning.
And we've got the wonderful, as always, Mark.
Oh, hi.
And welcome to the PUCL Podcast. PUCL, of course, standing for the Pokemon Underground Champions League, a nonsensical name we came up with in 2007, where we talk everything Pokemon from the trading card game to the video game to everything in between. So, without further ado, what have you guys been up to? Anything fun the past time since I've seen you? I don't know what the answer is to how long it's been.
I don't either.
I just talked to you guys, so
yeah.
Do you guys doing anything fun?
I mean, I'm getting into all of the not stupid expensive formats for Magic because
Okay.
I've been playing Pauper, which is only commons, so it's very cheap.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I went to the event at the game store, and I've never met a nicer group of people who will immediately kick your teeth in game one. They're like, oh, you've never played this format? Here, it's pretty simple. This is great. This is how the deck works. You got it? Good. All right, combo in turn 4, you're dead. Wasn't that fun? It's like, strangely it was. That's the nicest anyone's ever been while just completely killing me.
That's amazing. That's a good store then.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
one. That's a good one. That's like the best.
Yeah.
That's the best situation.
Yeah, honestly, for like a new format, having people be nice and then be like, yeah, this is how you fail. So,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you thought that this was going to be like weak cards because they're all common? No. We're still going to combo you out, just, with weaker cards.
Yes, that is how it be.
Mm.
What about you, Mark? Anything fun on your end?
oh, I mean, besides completely failing every time I try and do raids in Scarlet and Violet. Maybe not every time, but certainly I tried Greninja a few times yesterday with randos.
Greninja's rough.
Man, yeah, it's not a good time.
I like how they just put double team on it. They gave up. They're like, all right, fine. You guys are going to cheese this. We'll just make it RNG for at least one of you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's been my experience. But, at least I'm playing SV a little bit again. I took quite a hiatus on that for a while. So, yeah. Hopefully we'll get some news about home.
Quite a while. It's only been out like 2 months. You're fine.
I know. But, I beat the game and I got to the point where I could do the final raids. And I was like, yeah, I'll finish the decks later. And just haven't touched it.
Mm.
So, I mean, I've been slowly completing it since then, but I'll probably by the time home comes out, home connects, I'll end up actually spending time to finish it up.
Yeah, you actually have to catch the things. At least that's the way it was in Sword and Shield. It wouldn't update your decks if you transferred in.
Yeah, I'm assuming it will be that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I assume.
I don't know.
That's a good way to do it, I think, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
It forces you to have to play the game.
Well,
I don't know.
the thing was you only had to do one thing and then they populated in again because people did just
That's
transfer
true.
in all of their DLC,
That's true.
all the Pokemon back in the DLC and then just instantly completed their decks,
Right.
Mm.
Right.
which I was real sad about because I'm like, oh, I guess I'll find someone to trade with, maybe.
Yeah, maybe they turned that off. I haven't checked. See if they turned it off or not.
I wouldn't be surprised if they keep that, though.
I think it was just you had to interact with your box and then they all popped in.
Really?
Was that it?
Or something like that. I don't remember the specifics.
I'm not a fan of this. They should just turn it off. Just turn it off.
Yeah.
You didn't complete
Yeah.
that dex. You're borrowing that Pokemon from a past life.
Although I do like what that implies. The guy just looks in his box one day, there's just this lizard in it, he pulls it out, it goes Heatran, he's like, what are you?
How did you get here? No, I don't think I've done too much. I played some TCG this week for funsies. I actually went to League and I won the whole thing this week. That was exciting.
Oh,
yeah.
That's cool.
I won. I got my $20 of store credit.
Wow.
Nice.
I know.
What are you going to do with that big money?
That's a great question. I'm probably going to just go back and play more.
Win 4 more leagues and buy a box.
Yeah, I'm gonna win. I'm gonna keep winning leagues and like maybe buy some like D&D stuff or something. I don't know.
Oh, that's good use of money.
Like it's a full hobby shop, right? And like I don't need unfortunately the hobby shop that like I go to for most of my leagues, and so I go to this one on purpose because I'm gaming the system. And hear me out and how this is happening. This league's on Monday night, so not a lot of people just like want to go, especially with all the regionals going on. Like the serious players go to the regionals, and then they're just like, I'm not playing Monday night after like I just got tilted or whatever, you know.
I got tilted at the towers,
so they never show up. Unfortunately, like it's been shrinking in size. I don't know why. I think part of it is just like there's no local events, so like why is anybody practicing? Right? Which hopefully they fix soon. I'm really hoping locals come back very soon. They haven't announced it. Because I would love to like just go to smaller tournaments and like test my mettle there. You know, instead of being like, yes, a regional tournament. Let's go.
Let's see if my deck works at this regional tournament.
Yeah, exactly. I'd much rather be like, hey, let's go play in the tournament with like 20 people in it. You know? That's kind of what I want. But we're stuck at league. So unfortunately, like my win wasn't that exciting because only 4 people showed up to league.
Oh,
on Monday, yeah. It was unfortunate, but it was enough that like we could play.
I won I won league versus I beat 3 people. Those are very different feeling things.
Well, to be fair, you have to beat 3 people typically anyway during the week because like our league gets up to maybe 8-10 people, and so that's typically actually only 3 rounds of Swiss anyway. So instead of being Swiss, it was round robin. So I just got to play the other 3 people, and unfortunately, I was playing a fun spin on Lugia, which is Lugia flying Pikachu.
Okay,
that's not what I would call fun.
It's very cute because I think one of Lugia's harder matchups is against Lost Box, and Lost Box is a single prize deck, and Lugia struggles to like keep up with Lost Box. But if you play the Flying Pikachu just doesn't take any damage from basic Pokemon like ever. And it's which is a lot of fun. I really appreciate that.
I see you're trying to play a game. What if I just didn't interact with your deck?
Yeah, exactly. They have to find ways around it. I mean, to be fair, one of the top decks, I'm going to say tops in quote, like probably like number 6 out of top 5 is like Arceus Duraludon, which is literally just like, if you have special energy, you can't touch me. It's fine. And they can play certain cards, so like Lugia decks can't even touch the Duraludon. And it's just really sad. So there's a lot of just like, you can't play the game. I'm very excited for the new set to come out. Like when the new set comes out, we'll at least get like a change up to the game and it'll start to slow down. Lugia loses a lot of power. A lot of decks lose a lot of power. But yeah, I did that. That was fun. So I got my $20 credit. I'm going to go spend on balls, energy drinks, and D&D books.
They still make balls?
Yeah, dude. Of course they do. What is wrong with you?
I don't know, man. I haven't had balls since I was like a teenager. I just assumed they didn't exist anymore.
I get it once a week when I go play Pokemon.
I thought you guys meant like the hobby shop had like the Pokemon Center merch.
No. To be fair, so like Dayton, Ohio is really weird, and we actually do have this store in town. It's in the mall called Original 151, which is literally just a Pokemon Center.
Oh.
The only unfortunate thing is because it's not official, like things are definitely upcharged. They're definitely upcharged because I don't think they're getting any wholesale pricing on a lot of the Pokemon Center merch. But apparently the owner has a connection to import a lot of Japanese product.
Okay.
So they own Original 151. They actually own another card shop in town called No Limit Gaming. And then on top of that, they just opened an anime figure store. Which is also in the mall.
Wow, that's pretty niche.
Yeah. It's really weird that it's all here in Dayton, Ohio.
Yeah.
It's very, very weird.
The thriving metropolis.
Something. I don't know. Dayton, Ohio also has way more like TCG stores than I ever had living in Columbus, Ohio, a much larger city.
Yeah, that's a good thing about living about half an hour from Wizards of the Coast. There's like a lot of there's a lot of support for that kind of stuff here.
I could believe that.
Well, dude, have you seen the vending machines in like certain places?
Yeah.
For the Pokemon stuff, Lynian?
I have not. I've been looking for it, admittedly.
Yeah, they have the Pokemon Center vending machines in Seattle, right? Yeah, I've seen them a couple times.
Those around.
I should go check that out. Just kind of a interesting. For my anniversary, my boyfriend got me this. Those like nice ceramic Pokeballs with the lights.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
He got the Love Ball one, and it looks really
cute.
good.
Oh,
on my
that's
desk.
cute.
They do look good. I've seen them.
Yeah.
They do look good.
The base is like really cool and has like lights that come up from below.
Yep.
Super cool.
They're actually really, really good. But yeah, all right. Well, let's kick it on over to the news, guys. So let's cue that epic music.
Live from the Lavender Town Radio Tower. This just in.
Welcome to the news. In the news, we've got a few things to talk about, but not really. I'm going to let Mark kick it off, though.
Yeah, so generally, there was not much news this week, but a lot of discourse around people shaming each other for catching their shinies and quick balls, which I think is totally unwarranted, but hey, I have strong opinions about quick balls.
It was so bad. Twitter, somebody, I forget who it was. This happened like a few weeks ago, and I think it just like picked up steam. Because somebody's just like, why are you catching your shinies and quick balls? You should be prepared if you're a shiny hunter. And it's just like, I don't care.
Sometimes you're not prepared. You just come across stuff. I don't know, like,
I don't care. This was a stupid argument. Like, it's just literally the dumbest thing. Catch them in whatever makes you happy. I don't care. Like, a lot of people don't care about Pokeball aesthetics either.
Right.
Like, I don't know if people understand that. I know that's really hard to wrap around, that people might have a different perspective on life than you, or have different like core values. Pokemon. But
like, come on.
And this is the real hot wild take. How would you know? Like, oh, he's got a tiny little different animation that was sent out.
Yeah,
cool. I don't care.
Yep, I don't care either. I'm gonna be honest. My only gripe with Pokeballs in general is that I think everything post the Kurt balls had subpar designs.
I would disagree.
Which one? Well, Beast Ball is an exception. Beast Ball's pretty good.
I would still disagree. I think Dusk Ball looks pretty good.
Dusk Ball's okay.
That
would be the next one.
Is just
Dusk
awful.
Ball should be the purple ball. Just saying. It has a purple animation when it comes out.
You know what? I agree with that.
Timer looks great. I'll defend Timer Ball.
You know what? Timer's okay.
Timer Ball is great.
I'll give you Timer, but I think Nest is garbage. I think
Nest is okay.
I think Repeat's kind of garbage. I do think Quick Ball kind of looks bad. And then, I mean, Dive Ball's pretty good.
I love Dive Ball. Yeah,
Dive Ball's pretty good.
Dunk on.
So I can't dunk on Dive Ball.
No.
There's definitely they're definitely hit or miss, but I'd say all the Kurt balls are winners.
Oh yeah. Well, no, actually, I don't know.
Which one don't you like?
Was it the fastball is kind of like meh. Okay, it's red and it's got the little like fastball
is definitely mid. Definitely mid.
Yeah. I would agree otherwise. Like Frim Ball is great, you know.
I guess Gen 3 did give us Premier Ball. Premier Ball's pretty good.
Premier Ball is a good time.
Cherish Ball's bad. I think Cherish Ball's bad.
I wouldn't
feel
call
like
it bad.
Cherish Ball is they decided they sat down to make a quote unquote Pokeball and whiffed.
They failed real bad, actually.
I think
they tried and
yes.
Like, I don't know. I don't hate it. It's all right.
I haven't looked at like the source code for Scarlet and Violet enough. I looked for very few items that specifically in Scarlet and Violet, such as like the Black Argus, and the Peat Block and stuff like that, which are in the Scarlet and Violet code. But the thing I didn't look for was to see if the Hisuian balls got in.
Oh, I'm sure they did.
I hope. Well, so the way they handled it in actual like in BDSP and in area and in Pokemon Legends Arceus is that if you transfer a Pokemon, it just turns into the Strange Ball.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. I mean,
the Strange Ball's cute. I'm not gonna lie, but I would really like to see like the Hisuian Ball in Scarlet and Violet, like the Hisuian Pokeball. Just seeing the Pokemon caught in it. Like, don't give me access to it, but just let me see it. Because also you have the cool Pokeball that you like made for like Dialga and Palkia.
Right. Story. Yeah.
I want that to make it in, you know.
But then, like, what if you get two? That would be a paradox. Speaking of paradox Pokemon,
we'll get there. Yeah. No, go, Lynian, go.
As much as I like to
what a
continue
segue.
this mini topic about Pokeballs.
It was a fun mini topic, okay?
It was.
We have 4 things on the list.
Paradox Pokemon are allowed in VGC starting on Wednesday at 4 o'clock UTC. They're Tuesday night for most of the US, as long as they didn't mistranslate the post like they before. Yeah, you can use all of them. That's probably why they've been posting all the pictures of them on the YouTube page and Twitter.
Well, it's just their official reveal. They wanted to wait until the official reveal to allow Paradoxmons in. It's the same reason why the Items of Ruin or whatever they're called aren't in VGC yet either, because they haven't technically
they've been revealed. They were in the 1008.
They were in the trailer. They were in the trailer, but they haven't been like spotlighted by Pokemon yet.
Yeah, but that's fine.
They'll be there.
Neither has Scoville.
It's fine. It's fine. We don't need to worry about it.
No, it's fine.
No. It's
talking about going away. Let's go talk about some Pokemon Go.
Let's Pokemon Go to the polls.
All right. Mailbag Community Day is Sunday. That's it. Moving on.
cool.
In the TCG, there's going to be an upcoming set in Japan this summer called Pokemon Card 151, and it will apparently be the first time that Kadabra's been in the TCG since like 1999. Yeah, because Yuri Geller doesn't have any like sway anymore. So
is he dead?
No, he's alive.
No.
He's alive, but he like when the Pokemon card craze came back, they're like, yeah, they could do it if they wanted to.
Yeah,
so,
he tried to cash in on the craze and tie his name to it so that he could be a big special boy. But now we can get Kadabra back without fear of litigation from a con man. So you know,
yeah, right.
Some pluses, I guess.
Yeah,
that's
we can
true.
get.
He's not very reputable.
No, we get Kadabra back, so that's cool. All right. So I guess the final thing is Puckle's Poke prediction, because this was a short news week.
Yeah.
With the first regional supporting Series 2 rules being next weekend, which Paradox Pokemon will appear the most in Day 2 teams? Will it be the same that appears in the most top 8 teams? The answer is yes to both, and the Pokemon is probably either Iron Hands or Iron Valiant, probably. Iron Bundle. No, Iron Bundle.
I don't actually think it's either of those three. I think Bundle is going to be too frail to succeed well in a 1v2, in a 2v2 rather. It doesn't typically, without a turn of setup, quite punch most of the strong things in VGC.
So the good news is we probably have this answer, because before Series 1 was announced, they were just playing.
Yeah.
They were playing with it anyway. So let me see if I can find out.
If I had to guess, I probably would think it's gonna something relatively rounded and kind of bulky. So maybe like Jugulus, maybe I don't think Hands, but possible.
Iron Hands has a chance, I think. Iron Jugulus is not that good. It's not gonna be.
What about Thorns?
The other one that might see some
Roaring
play.
Moon, you know?
Roaring Moon. I don't actually know the answer to this. I don't know that I'm well versed enough to.
I
haven't played a lot of Series 2 at all, and by that I mean I've played 0. And as a result, I've also learned, like playing Series 1, that 2 months is definitely not long enough, and they should let it go longer, like at least 3 months, not 2, because I'm sitting here like trying to figure out the meta, and like I'm just starting to get it. And then it's just like, by the way, we're going to add in these 16 Pokemon that are completely going to change everything.
Right.
And I'm like, I can't wait for Torkoal to be everywhere.
And Pincurchin.
And Pincurchin.
I mean, it won't be, but like, it could.
It'll be Torkoal will. Torkoal succeeds.
Torkoal will. You know what? That's the thing. It's not gonna be one of the future mons. It's going to be something that does well on Sun.
Torkoal.
With that
Lilligant.
in mind, probably Slitherwing.
Lilligant.
Oh yeah.
Lilligant always does well. I wonder if Hisuian Lilligant will do well when it finally shows up.
What did it keep chlorophyll? Hustle?
I don't know the answer. I don't know the answer to these
One
questions.
moment.
No, we do know. We do
your...
know.
Do we?
Yeah, we actually do know.
Is that actually did that come up?
It came out when you could transfer them to Pokemon Home, and it was also in the data of Pokemon Legends Arceus. So it did.
Well, it was in Legends Arceus, and then a lot of those Pokemon changed their abilities in the data for this game, which is good. It gave like Rockhead to Arcanine.
Currently, Chlorophyll is on Hisuian Lilligant. Currently,
yeah, that's terrifying in a good way, because that thing's got like 105 speed and 105 attack.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Yeah, just choice band that and things start dying. I think
it'll be fun.
It also has Victory Dance, which is bulk up with speed.
Yep. All right. Well, that's the news, I guess. What a short one this week. We're going to go ahead and quiz your co-hosts on their insane Pokemon knowledge.
Oh, hi, and welcome to the Poke Quiz, the part of the show where we quiz our co-hosts on their insane Pokemon knowledge. I'm Mark from the Dunsparce Gang, here to explain the rules. Our fabulous co-hosts will work as a team to answer 5 Pokemon-themed trivia questions that fans have submitted on the Discord server. Each question is worth 1 point, with Pokedex and multiple answer questions worth more, for a total of 7 points. The host can use a free hint at any time. If they get all the answers correct and do not use the hint, they can cash it in for an 8th point.
Welcome to Puckle's Poke Quiz. Thank you for that introduction. We're going to kick things off. I think, Lynian, if you get a perfect score today, you win.
Woo!
So keep that in mind, I guess. Because I believe you're at 32. All right. So let's get started then. Our first one is going to be from Dragon Tamer Nick. What is the only non-psychic type Pokemon to get synchronized as an ability?
The only what?
The only non-psychic type Pokemon to get synchronized as an ability.
Umbreon.
Umbreon is correct. That is 1 for 1. I'll give you that one. I don't know what else to say about that. That is a fact.
I mean, it's matched with Espeon.
This is a fact. All right. Your next question is going to be just from Stan? We just have Stan in the Discord. Good to know.
Well, Mark's here.
So. Mark, that's true. We do have Mark on the show.
Mark, Stan, if you get a Bob, we're halfway to a hardware store.
Which Pokemon evolutionary line has a 7-to-1 female to male gender ratio?
7-to-1 female to male.
Female to male.
7-to-1. Oh, gosh.
So it's the 87 or whatever.
No. Well, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. Female to male. And it's a 3-stage?
Female to male. It is an evolutionary line. I did not say 3-stage.
Oh, okay.
The only thing I can see, like, part of it is, like, there's the weirdness that is the Azurill line, where technically Azurill has a 7-to-1, but Marill and Azumarill do not.
Huh.
That's not it.
I do know that that's a thing. I don't think that that's necessarily correct, but it's got to be something that's got a weird evolution thing, like Combee or Salandit.
Yeah. Salazzle?
No, Lion.
Oh,
Pyroar.
Yeah, Pyroar. Yeah. Is that 7-to-1?
I have no idea. I know it's less than, like, 1. It's not 1-to-1, and it's not 2-to-1. It's worse. Because I know that getting the shiny male one is very hard.
That's true. I mean, I'm willing to try that one out.
Sure. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, let's do it.
The Pyroar line is correct.
Okay.
It is. That is the only one that's 7-to-1 female to male. There are 7-to-1 male to female. Salandit is one of them.
The starters are another.
As well. The starters are actually 8-to-1, I think, or something. Maybe I'm incorrect.
No, those are 7-to-1.
No, they are 7-to-1. They are also 7-to-1.
Yeah,
that's correct.
Because they hate girls, apparently.
Yes. All right. So you guys are 2 for 2. Your next question is your Pokedex entry question, as always. This one is going to come from the trivia master himself, Liger.
Ooh.
Its Pokemon Shield entry reads, the karate chops of this Pokemon that's trained itself to limit can cleave the ocean itself.
What?
Whoa,
the karate chops of this Pokemon... can cleave the ocean itself. The karate chops of this Pokemon that's trained itself to the limit can cleave the ocean itself.
Can cleave... So, okay, karate chops, right? So probably fighting type.
Definitely a fighting type. My first thought I don't think is right. Because my first thought was Rapid Strike Urshifu, but that's not...
Yeah, my thought is that too. But I agree. I don't think that's correct.
No.
Who else karate chops?
Machamp?
Sock is in Sword and Shield, right?
I think it is. Yeah, no, I know it is. I just don't know how I feel about it.
In general or about this?
I mean, just in general, it looks like Grover, like, in a gritty reboot of Muppets Take Manhattan. If you feel good about it, I don't feel bad.
As like a first, I mean, we get 2 chances here, right?
Yeah.
So,
I can't think of anything else that like chops. If it's not this, it's going to be like its blows are rapidly flowing, and we'll go, oh, so
yeah, right.
I guess we'll take it.
Let's do Sock to start.
Sock is correct.
Oh no.
The extra entry we had was from Pokemon Y, and it reads, tying their belts gets them pumped up and makes their punches more destructive. Disturbing their training angers them.
Okay, that is the least helpful second sentence. Hey, if you interrupt it, it gets rude. It gets angry.
It's mad.
Yeah, same.
All right, you guys are 4 for 3. So your next question is worth up to 2 points. And it's going to come to you from Farmer. Wait, no, I'm not doing that one. That's like you. What? No.
What? Oh, no.
Okay.
No, not that it's hard. It's that it's too easy. It's asking you for 10 Pokemon types of the 18 that have one specific thing. And it's just like, yeah, you guys could throw darts at a board and get it right. Like, all right. This other one is going to be from Deacon Cheese. There are 6 answers here. Which non-legendary Pokemon receive the highest amount of stat points in each stat upon evolution? So we do have the 6 stats. If you give me, I don't know. I'm going to say if you give me like 4 of them, you get 2 points. If you give me 2 of them, you get 2 points.
So Nincada probably is one of them. I'm not.
You do have to lock these in.
Yeah, I'm not. I was just to say, I'm not locking this in. You do have to give.
Yeah, I'm just going to ask for the Pokemon. I'm not going to ask for you to give me the speed stat that it is, but I will ask for the...
Well, yeah, because I know it shoots up by a lot, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right on that one.
Because Ninjask has, like, 400 million or something, and I think Nincada has, like, 2.
Yeah, I believe that is correct.
So Nincada for speed?
Yeah, let's lock it in.
Nincada for speed is correct. It gains 120 points for speed.
Ooh,
upon evolution to Ninjask.
I don't know about any of the others.
The other thing that comes to mind, I just don't know the base speed. But, not base speed. Here's a question.
Yeah.
Doublade to Aegislash. Do we count both forms of it?
Yes.
Oh.
I think it could probably be at least one of the special stats going up to those.
Okay.
Special defense, I know on Doublade's around 50. And it goes up to 140, so that's like 90.
I mean, that's pretty good. Do you want to try that one?
Sure. Aegislash Shield from Doublade for special defense?
Nope, that's incorrect.
Ooh.
What gets more than 90 points?
It doesn't get 90 points going to special defense from Doublade to Aegislash.
Okay.
Because you have to remember Aegislash also got nerfed to 140.
Yeah, and then so 50 to 140 is about 90 points.
This is higher. What the heck? This is higher than what they gave me. This question was not fact-checked. I mean, I think that's actually correct, because it's actually 49 on Doublade, and then to Aegislash, it is 140, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Let me double-check my math real quick. I mean, you guys can have this information. It is 140, so 140 minus 49 is what, 91?
Mm-hmm.
Is that how math works? That is higher than what I have. Let me do my math real quick. That sounds right to me, but I do have a math minor that I got and I don't use ever. So,
and look what you use
140 minus 49, 91. That is higher.
Okay,
I'm going to accept that. I'm going to accept that as an answer.
Perfect.
The other answer that we had was Marini to Toxapex for 90.
Oh, okay.
Which so is by 1 point, but.
Yeah, it's by 1 point, but that does make it higher.
Yes, I was. It wasn't like some wildly.
You guys do get 1 point, and you still have all of your strikes.
Well.
Okay, what about like Gyarados?
Because what is its attack?
Is that the? Oh God, I don't remember.
It's like
because I mean, Magikarp's pretty.
Magikarp
low.
is 10, right? Like if Gyarados is 100, that's still 90 points.
Yeah, that's true. That's a fair point. Yeah, just do Gyarados or Magikarp. Gyarados
yeah. Let's say Gyarados.
Magikarp to Gyarados is the attack stat.
Okay,
that 115 points.
Yeah, that would do it.
115 points. Yeah, it gained a good chunk.
Do you think Marini is also defense?
Oh man.
I mean, we have all our strikes.
That's true. Yeah, we can certainly.
Let's go for it. Like worst case, we're just back here.
That's true. Yeah. Let's do it.
All right, defense, Marini.
Marini does not defense. That is your first strike.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Okay, so what stats do we have? It's defense.
Defense, HP, special attack.
HP, huh?
Citadel already has a lot, actually.
How much does Clodsire have?
How much does Wooper have? That's the real question.
Yeah.
Clodsire's got
Wooper's got to be pretty low, right?
I don't know, because it's a Pokemon that has, like, no stats.
Right, so maybe that would be the HP one?
It's possible.
I don't know. I don't know what the HP is.
I just don't know. What's Clodsire? Because Clodsire's at, like, what, 130?
It's something like that, yeah.
Yeah,
it's up there.
I can't think of anything else that, like, gets HP bulk. That tends to be something you're born with, you know?
Right. You're born with the HP.
Let's try Paldean and Wooper. Locking it in.
Yeah. Paldean and Wooper is incorrect. I believe it only gets it only gets like an 85 bump.
Oh, really?
What am I?
Huh.
I'm gonna say only.
Because that means it has to be like one of the best HP mons that it becomes, and it comes out of something that's very frail. Well, there's also Aegislash for special attack, but I feel like there's something else that just becomes psychic. Actually, that's a good point. Is there anything that, like, gains another type that we might...
Yeah, you guys are on your last strike, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
Wait. How much... What about Feebas?
Huh. Well, Milotic doesn't have the same...
I don't remember what the stats are, because it doesn't have, like, really high special defense, though.
Yeah, but Feebas already had a pretty good special defense.
Oh, okay.
Also, we already got special defense.
That's true. Yeah. I guess we already have that. So
but the other stats that it got were special attack. It goes up to 100 from something terrible.
Oh, okay.
I think it's 10. I think it is like Magikarp. It's got 10 in both of its attack stats.
So potentially 90?
Potentially 90 to special attack.
Okay. Oh, man.
I feel okay about that.
You do that for special attack, then?
I want to think just a little bit, because if Clodsire doesn't get HP, right?
Yeah, it doesn't win the HP math.
If that's the case, whatever it evolves into has to have a massive, massive HP stat.
Right.
Just to have the points to go around.
I don't know what that would be.
Because Chansey doesn't... I mean, Chansey does, rather. It doesn't evolve... wait, what's Happini's?
Yeah, that would be... Yeah, like the baby mons, right?
Because Chansey is at, like, 250, right?
Is it really that high?
Yeah, because Blissey has the highest possible HP at 255.
Oh, well, there's no way... I mean, I don't think Happini would be that high, would it? I mean...
No, I mean, like let's say it was high at, like, 110. That would still be...
Yeah, it'd be huge.
It'd be like an 140 jump.
Yeah. Yeah, we could do that for HP.
Yeah, let's try that.
Happini to Blissey is correct for HP. That is 150 points.
Ooh.
So that gives you the full gambit. I'm gonna reveal the other to you for brevity of time. Defense is actually Wimpod to Gliscopod, 100 change.
Oh.
Good. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
Feebas and Charjabug are tied for special attack increase with 90.
Okay. Gotcha.
With 90. So you were on the bright path with Feebas, so that's your 2 points. So you guys are, what is this? This is 4 questions. You guys are 6 for 4. Your next question.
Oh no.
Yeah, you could win here, Lynian, but you got to get this correct.
I could also trip over my own feet, be hoisted by my own petard.
Yeah. All right. This next question is going to come to you from Deacon Cheese once again. Of the 27 fully evolved starters, no megas, which one has the highest base defense?
Defense?
Yep.
Defense.
So, Chestnut comes to mind first.
How much is that?
I don't know. Not like 115, I think. The other, what are other? Because the stuff that came out in like 100 some odd would be the maximum defense for Skeledirge, for instance. I can't. I'm going through them in my head.
Like
Sin isn't actually.
I don't know how that, like Torterra, but I don't know if that beats Chestnut.
It's really a question of like Chestnut or Torterra, because I don't think like Incineroar only is that bulky because of Intimidate.
Mm-hmm.
None of the stuff in Gen 8 was defensively bulky. None of the stuff in Gen 9 was particularly. Skeledirge was very rounded bulk, right?
I think Chestnut might be the right answer then.
Yeah,
because I think it's higher than Torterra.
That's the question, and it really is down to those two almost off the gate.
Right.
I'm gonna need an answer here, guys.
Let's just do Chestnut.
Yeah, let's just do Chestnut. Okay.
Why not?
Sure.
Chestnut is correct.
Okay.
It is that ruins the ladder. But
I think it simplifies the ladder.
Everybody's gets destroyed. Chestnut's got 122 base defense. The next up is Torterra with 105. And then Blastoise, Meganium, Feraligatr, and Skeledirge are tied for the next place at 100.
A nice round number. That's why.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, you guys got the 8 points. Congratulations to Lynian. Woo!
Yay!
You did it.
You win thing.
I win thing. Thing is win.
Yep. But that's good for Mark, because you know what? Mark gets 8 points, and he's sitting at the top of the ladder right now.
Yeah.
Tune in
Everyone
next
else
week.
has yet to get on the board.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, thank you for that, guys. If you want to listen to more Poke Quiz, tune in next week. Until then, we're going to kick it on over to the topic. We have another review this week from iTunes from Boy Jeff. Amazing, 5 stars. I just started listening this year, but I've loved it ever since. Well, thank you for that. And if you would like to review us wherever you listen to the podcast, we would really appreciate it. It would help us out. On top of that, you might be able to be right on the show. Well, until then, we're going to kick it on over, guys, to the topic. Welcome to the topic. Our topic today is going to be Paradox Pokemon theories and essentially where they came from, what they actually are. Are they actually Pokemon from the future? Are they actually Pokemon from the past? Personally, I'm doubtful. There's been a few like rumors floating through the internet, and we haven't talked much post-game yet. Yeah, I want to say post-game. We haven't talked much post-game yet, so definitely spoilers ahead for those of you listening. If you haven't completed the game and you want to still remain spoiler-free, just a heads up. Timestamps are in the show notes so you can skip straight to the Pokemon of the episode. I want to talk about this because I think this is something fun to talk about. We haven't had a good like speculation episode in a while, and I'm sure we'll all get like shown up in a month when Pokemon Day comes out and we get the DLC
right
announcement and we get a little bit more information. But I am very, very curious to see what's going on. You've got a lot of people floating around, and then I'll let you guys like tell me that I'm stupid, but we've got a lot of theories floating around from PokeTubers and stuff like that. And I think they all are getting like really hyped up on these Pokemon being either from the past or from the future. Every time I hear them talk, like both theories about them being from the past and from the future don't make sense together. Like you can't make it. It's literally a paradox, right? It's an oxymoron.
Well,
when like they come up with their theory for the future Pokemon, then their separate theory for the past Pokemon. I think it's very fun to listen to that. There has been the really fun one with the imagination, which Lydia might be able to give a better explanation than I can for. That's the one I ascribe to. I want to hear what you guys say.
I want to quickly, because imagination, that's not a thing that necessarily makes total sense to everyone, so let me just throw out what that means for the audience.
Yes, exactly.
In the alternate version of the game that you play, all of the other Pokemon are described in ways that are largely to somewhat impossible. Things like Jigglypuff, being 1 billion years old, means it would predate multicellular life, and all evidence of that. That's probably not possible. On the other hand, you have things that seem to imply that Hariyama was human, Iron Hands, rather, was human, Iron Jugulus is... you can look up the dex entry on your own time. But basically, but they're all specifically, not only are they impossible, but they're reported in ill-reputed magazines. So, the theory goes basically something like this. Whatever is down at the bottom of Area 0 is not a time machine, and the crystals don't just supercharge... they don't just supercharge technology. What they do is they make what is imagined real, or something to that effect. So these Pokemon that were described in the Book of Scarlet or the Book of Violet or these weird magazines, what they are literally that. They're inventions of people that have been made real by the power of the machine in Area 0. It was never actually pulling things from the future or past. They could never send someone over to see what it was. All it was creating what people expected about the future or the past. And so you get robots and Pokemon that look just like dinosaur versions of the Pokemon that exist. They're not actually... These weren't existent life forms. These were dreams come true. If that's the case, that does mean that the AI professor just got yeeted into imagination. Which means I don't care how much it costs Pokemon. If that's true, let the DLC have a orchestral haunting remix of Willy Wonka's Pure Imagination. I just need that.
So the third legendary is called like the disc Pokemon, and I think isn't it supposed to be something like it's supposed to be something with imagination.
We don't know about the disc.
It says something like that though. It says in the Scarlet/Violet book.
Yeah, so the Scarlet and Violet book talk about the quote unquote third legendary. It's the thing that is hinted at in all the hexagons, like in the hats that the Pokemon have. There's like little angry eyes. And it's implied that that's connected to this disc. Like they're like, was it a Pokemon? Was it not? And they talk about this powerful disc thing. It's really vague what it is, and imagination vaguely comes up in reference to it, but it's not concrete enough to really dig into. There's nothing there.
The other thing I do like as well is how they hint at like these fusion Pokemon that we're seeing in the Scarlet and Violet books, where you either see the three legendary beasts from, Gen 2 or the Swords of Justice all combined as one Pokemon. And they say these are like imagined versions of what these might look like in the past and / in the future.
Yeah, so if we ever see them, it kind of definitively closes that off, huh?
Exactly. Like, because they don't exist.
Hey, this is the thing I made up. Oh.
Yeah, exactly. And on top of that, I think if you were to see people have done the timeline, and Pokemon's actually really been pretty okay with their timeline in reference to Pokemon events. Entei, Raikou, and Suicune didn't exist until 150 years ago when the Burn Tower burned down. Mm-hmm. And I believe they were talking about the Paradox Pokemon that's the fusion of all of them being 200 plus years old. So they literally wouldn't have existed.
Mm-hmm.
It would be another evidence towards this. I do expect that we probably hit this somewhat on the nose, but there's probably small pieces that we haven't put together that Pokemon has a better answer for us. But I like the idea that they're just imagination, because that makes way more sense to me as to why that we have all of these weird Pokemon that can't breed.
That's true. Yeah. I don't know. I agree. I think it makes the most sense, but I don't know.
Have you heard of any of these theories? I don't know. Like, if you haven't, what did you think of the Paradox Pokemon, Mark?
Yeah, I kind of tend to agree with the thought that it's probably imagination. I think that's a little bit more sort of creative in the storytelling aspect too.
Yeah,
which I kind of want to be true instead of just like, oh yeah, these are literally just time travel.
Yeah, I kind of want that too.
However, I personally, my pet theory, which is probably extremely wrong, is that this has some sort of tie to like the wormholes in Sun and Moon. But it's probably not that case, because we do have like, you know, the Ultra Beasts, which are also, you can't breed them and they're super weird. They're not really based off of like any current Pokemon, right? But I don't know. I feel like there may be something there as well. But again, I have no evidence for this, and it's probably just imagination. I
mean, it's a good connection to make, because the Pokemon Company did like come out. Well, if you look at the code of Sword and Shield, actually, and all the changes they've made. So Ultra Beasts are no longer considered sub-legendaries like they were. They're like their own class of Pokemon now. And they're trying to do the same thing with the Paradox Pokemon. Like the Paradox Pokemon are supposed to be on like the same tier as Ultra Beasts.
Oh, okay. That makes a lot of sense.
It's actually like a very good connection to make.
Oh, okay. You know, I mean, they kind of give me the same vibe, you know, they're not quite legendaries, right? But they're still kind of treated functionally like that.
Yeah.
And I also like the idea of like, I don't know, like in Pokemon, there is this idea of like other sort of dimensions and other worlds.
Other realities.
You know, the sort of, yeah. So like, you know, I feel like there could definitely be a connection there in some way, but I also feel like it's not terribly well defined to begin with. But so there's a lot of room for interpretation depending on who's doing the research, what region you're in or whatever.
This is true.
I think it's to Thatch's classic point of, headcanon is good for this kind of thing.
Yes. Yes.
For now, until it goes away. And they answered in the DLC, okay?
I just hope they kind of don't. I hope they never address it.
Oh.
But I just meant in general, like, if the fact that there aren't strong... I think one thing first of all, when you started talking about them connected to Ultra Beasts, all I could think about is a past version of Buzzwole where they encase it in amber.
Oh my gosh.
And I really like that. I really want that now.
A rock fighting type.
Yeah, or Rock Bug. I don't care, either of them.
I think rock fighting's more exciting.
Yes, I agree.
That would be fun.
I do think there's a little bit of room to kind of say that this was not handled perfectly. And my biggest problem with it is pretty simple. Even if the DLC explains this, the story now feels very weird. And if someone didn't have the DLC, that's just the game. I don't like having conclusions to...
I see what you're saying.
Major plots, not in the base game. I liked how the game was done in
Sword and Shield.
Sword and Shield. They had stories that were complete. They were there, and were they the most interesting? No. Did they mean that we didn't have to worry about questions like, where did the villain go at the end of the story? Yeah, we didn't have to have that problem.
However, I think it's a good thing. I think it would be interesting to like have the DLC sort of as a continuation of the main story.
I think the way that Scarlet and Violet was set up was also a lot different than the way Sword and Shield was set up in terms of the story, because the stories that, I thought the story of Scarlet and Violet was far more engaging than the story of Sword and Shield.
Yes.
Because Sword and Shield were just like typical Pokemon games with like their very linear storytelling.
Right.
Scarlet and Violet was just like, here's information for you to learn. You just figure it out as you go along. I mean, maybe that's just like a product of the quote unquote open world. I really, really like, I don't know, that kind of storytelling is more enthralling because you're like, I have to discover what's going on, right? And you're actually discovering instead of being spoon fed like, oh man, Beads Caparaja knocked down this ancient mural and we found a statue.
Oh, I'm not going to say that one was done well.
Honestly think this is very exciting leading up to the DLC just because of the amount of speculation it allows for. It's really fun. We were having the same thing when we were like leading up to the release of the game. Like, what is this? What does that mean?
Mm-hmm.
Now we're like afterwards and we're still like, what is this? What does it mean? We just got like a piece of the puzzle. We don't know the whole thing. And I really, really like that. Now, does it suck that we're going to have to probably spend $30 to find out what else is going on? Probably.
Or we'll go back to Kalos and they'll just never address this ever again.
Stop it.
All I hope is if we go to Kalos, we don't get to go across the fence. Like what it is there's a tunnel. Yeah. And then you go and you talk to the guy. He's like, yeah, I'll let you through. And then you come out and it's like this long cave. And then you come out through some metal stairs and you come out and it's the power plant from the desert that everyone complained about. That you couldn't go into. You just pop out of that. That would be the best troll move Pokemon could do.
Man, there's no way that we go to Kalos. I think that's a really long shot. That part of the map, actually, if you look at the Kalos map, that's actually not even in Gen 6. Like, the part of the map that's being shown grayed out in Paldea.
Is if we did go to Kalos, but it's just the little Friend Safari Battle Mason. The Friend Safari's closed, and the Battle Mason is completely unchanged since X and Y.
Pretty much that, though. Like maybe you could go there in that little area, but that little area actually has clouds over it in the map of Kalos.
Well, maybe that's what the DLC is.
No, it's the little cloud area, but it's more akin to not so much Kalos as to like Johto. They call it Johto Falls.
Tojo,
the Tojo Falls. That's what it was. Yeah, the Tojo Falls in Gold and Silver. That space between two regions. That's pretty much what it is.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I mean, which is still exciting, and if we get references, and, you know, maybe we get to go to Kalos. If we do, I would be very genuinely surprised.
I would too.
Maybe this is just like 25 years of disappointment, right?
We finally get that third version we've been asking for.
Well, not even like the third version, but could you imagine, like, after 25 years, they're just like, here's a second region in your Pokemon game, and being like, what? I didn't think this was possible.
I mean, I think it would be fun if done well, but I think people are kind of people have been wanting the Pokemon world to be more connected than it actually is for a long time.
I don't blame them.
In Gen 2 kind of set that expectation. No, I don't blame them either, but I feel like that's like the only time that's happened, right?
But I don't blame people for wanting that. And I think that's like a very big thing to want in any fandom universe.
Sure.
I mean, this is like really nerdy and just a very Thatch thing, but like even in the Power Rangers universe, like fandom, people do that all the time.
Bingo card?
They try to shove everything into the same universe, and I guess they have done so like semi-successfully.
If I can soapbox briefly, here's the issue that I have with a lot of the why I think we're never going to go to Kalos this gen. I could be wrong. But they don't want to bring Megas back, and imagine Kalos without Megas. Doesn't work.
It's not as fun, for sure.
Well, like, a lot of the literal, like, map doesn't work. Why are we going to these places? Nothing happens there without the...
The answer for most of it is you just do gyms again, and then you're happy. But I do agree with that for some things in town, right? I also, if they're going to do Kalos, I would believe that they would bring Megas back, but obviously they're not doing that, right?
Well, I mean, the most they could do is just have it be kind of like give it that Gen 2 treatment again, where it's like a dumbed down version of it.
Yeah, that's true. No Viridian Forest.
So it's not like literally Kalos, but it's like Kalos Light.
Yeah, Diet Kalos.
The difficulty curve is going to be unusably bad.
It depends on what they do with it, right? I mean, it really depends on what they do.
What Pokemon are you going to use, Thatch? Your story team is now either level 100 or, like...
Sure.
Well, yeah, they wouldn't be starting the game. It would have to be DLC and treated as such, right? Like, it's not going to be...
But I'm saying that for the people who... It actually makes playing the game originally much worse if you played it at launch, because now you have all of this stuff, and none of your... If you did any post-game stuff, now your Pokemon outstrip it completely. It's like...
I understand that.
Thanks for punishing your early adopters.
You could even do... it depends on how they do it. I don't know. They could find a smart way to do it. It's not my job to do that, right? I'm not a game designer.
But to me, it does limit what they're likely to do.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I do not expect this to happen whatsoever. If it happens, I will be genuinely shocked.
This is why the DLC for Sword and Shield, specifically Crown Tundra, was great.
Crown Tundra was very good.
All of the challenges that were like catching the Pokemon, they were like level 70, 80 anyway. So even if you did power level your team, you were kind of on par. And then the other thing was, if you wanted to do the real like the battle stuff, it was all level scaled rentals.
Yep.
That worked fine.
I don't disagree with you. I'm sure they'll do something with the DLC. I hope it's 2 packages again, too, so we can get, like, I don't know, more bang for our buck and just kind of drag it out. Get another 700 Pokemon game. But we'll see. Especially in some of this art. I think the Pokemon graphics are actually pretty good. Like, I'm a fan.
Oh, don't get into that discourse, too. Please.
Yeah, I know. People are going to be so mad. People got mad at us for talking about how, like, we liked the way, like, the Seviper looked in the trailer and stuff. I was like, I don't know. I just thought it looked nice. Like,
but the art in this game is so bad. They copied the models to make the official art.
Okay.
I'm smart for thinking that is how game design teams work. They have the final product before they make the official art.
Well, yeah. Duh.
Yeah, sure. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very excited, though. I don't know. I want to know what's going on. Like, this has been eating at me for like 2 months now.
I mean, I want DLC. That's what it comes down to for me.
I don't know how they did it, but I want this DLC more than I wanted the Sword and Shield DLC.
Well, first of all, we know it's on the table. I specifically remember telling people on this very podcast, let me retroactively eat crow on this.
Yeah.
I remember specifically telling people, hey, don't get excited. This isn't going to be anything. They're going to tell us about the new wild area rotation back when we thought that was going to be interesting.
Right.
You know what? I will say, though, so far Scarlet and Violet has exceeded my expectations in essentially their wild area updates by giving us the things like the Cinderace and the Greninja. Like, they've done it consistently, too. This is exactly what I wanted, and I don't know why they took so long to get to this point. I do actually really like this. I mean, we could eat crow again, too, when Kalos shows up, which is fine. I still don't think it'll happen.
That's okay. I will eat that crow.
Yes, I will.
Like, that is fine.
I will happily eat that one, because I think if there's a region you're going to do it to, I think Kalos is the one, only because it's the only one that didn't get...
It was so forgettable the first time.
It wasn't that it was forgettable. Okay, one, it's not forgettable.
But you know what? People are going to be mad about it regardless.
Yes,
Like, they're going to be, no matter what we get, they're going to be like, well, what about Gen 5, huh?
Yeah, I know. They're going to be Gen 5 remakes. Okay, but that's going to be a much quieter group of people, I hope.
Dude, I've already been seeing it.
The Hoenn confirmed people, they were loud.
Oh, those guys were awful.
Yes, for years.
They were horribly loud.
The Diamond and Pearl people were better, but, like, not...
The Sinnoh confirmed people were annoying, but, like, it wasn't like, terrible, and... This time, I'm hearing very little about the desire for a Gen 5 remake, but I think most of that's for fear that it's going to be another BDSP.
It's because BDSP was bad.
Yeah, I think it's just out of fear that it's a BDSP.
But we did get Hisui.
I would much rather have that than I would a proper remake.
Have that as a Unova like callback.
Yeah. I'd
be okay with that.
I would really... I mean, if they do the same thing where they do BDSP and like PLA again, I think that's a fair way to go ahead. Because my concern with Gen 5 is Gen 5, for me at least, in my experience, isn't complete without having Black and White 2 also somehow involved. And I don't see how they do that well.
Just remake Black and White 2 and then have like a little prologue. Call it a day.
Yeah, you could do that.
I would hope. I just don't have faith that they would do that.
You just have Charon come up and say, somehow Getsus returned. It worked for Star Wars. It'll be fine for this.
Somehow Getsus returned. He's contacted the Resistance. The return of Team Plasma in Black and White 2 makes just as much sense as the First Order in Star Wars. It's fine.
No, it makes marginally more sense because they weren't like pushed out and then replaced by a whole other government. They went from crazy cult to crazy cult. It's pretty lateral.
Actually, yeah. You know what? Yeah, it's better. It's better. Yeah. Thanks, Disney.
That's why we don't engage with Star Wars anymore.
Yep. That's why we're no longer the Star Wars Underground champions.
It's true. It's true.
Swuckle. Yes. All right. Well, it sounds like we've come to a natural conclusion. Paradox Pokemon are confusing. I'm very excited to see them go, just see the answer, because they're obviously not from the past or from the future. We also have like oh man, I did forget to bring up like the plate that everybody talks about. That's just in Area 0. That kind of ties into that. That's like, it has like inscriptions that nobody understands, and it's made of a metal that they can't like scratch or dent. Do you remember that plate?
I do, and it is, I need you guys to know I'm physically restraining myself from making about 3 different references that no one else will get. I think the good news about all of this is we have a fairly definitive timeline for when we're going to get answers to these questions, or we'll know when we won't get answers, and that is in a month.
I'm very excited for that, though. I'm very, very, very excited.
Yes.
Because I would love to see that. Also, fun fact, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but on the Scarlet and Violet box art, there's 4 symbols in the corners around like the big Pokemon Scarlet and Violet logo. And 2 of them we actually know what they are. So there's like 2 unknown ones. Because they actually have the symbol that's from that metal plate in one of the corners. And then they actually, if the room with Iron Valiant / Roaring Moon in it has all of those runes on the ground.
Oh, yeah.
And that pattern is actually also in one of the corners of the logo. So I don't know if that means they're important or something, but it's very interesting to think about. And one's a hexagon as well, so it probably has something to do with terrestrialization, but the other one we have no idea what the shape has anything to do with. Just food for thought. Lots of secrets. I wish they would tell me. Maybe these are the gameplay enhancements in version 1.2. They'll actually explain to me what's going on.
Press the hexagon button, and then your gameplay is better.
Yeah. Oh, look at this. The frame rate's actually usable.
It's a key item that you get by talking to one guy, like the sound test.
It's like the worst Game Boy player sounds, right? Like,
no, in Sword and Shield, remember, there's like one dude that if you talk to him, he like gives you like a key item that like lets you control the audio settings.
That's right. You're correct. But yeah. All right. Well, that is going to be it for this topic. We are going to kick it on over now to the Pokemon of the episode. So we will catch you all on the flip-flop.
Poke of the episode.
Welcome to the Pokemon of the episode. Our Pokemon of the episode today is National X number 981, Farigiraf, the Longneck Pokemon.
Its Scarlet entry states, now that the brain waves from the head and tail are synced up, the psychic power of this Pokemon is 10 times stronger than Girafarig's.
Poor Girafarig. Actually, good Girafarig. Girafarig, it deserves something.
It needs this.
It needed it. Absolutely.
Yes.
For reference, 10 times its power equates to like 20 points of special attack.
I'm actually really happy that Girafarig is seeing play right now, by the way. It is surprisingly good in VGC. For a couple of reasons, but the bigger one is that it got Armor Tail as an ability, which is actually really good, and everybody forgets about it because it doesn't really make sense all the time, other than if you think that Farigiraf can just tell the future. But it does prevent priority moves that target Pokemon with Armor Tail or its allies from being used. So you can't like taunt somebody on the other side while you have Armor Tail Farigiraf. And stuff like that.
I did not realize it also protected the allies.
It does protect the allies, which is amazing. It's great. So it's a very, very good Pokemon for that reason. It also it's actually like a decent Trick Room setter, but in addition to being a good Trick Room setter, it also has the access to Imprison, which not a lot of Trick Room users have. So it can actually prevent a lot of Trick Room as a result by using Imprison and preventing Trick Room from being used. So it's just like, it's a very, very cool Pokemon, and it's one of my favorites to come out of Gen 9, and probably one of my favorite added evolutions to a Pokemon line in a very long time. Just design-wise, I really like it. Also, it's Gen 2, or it comes from a Gen 2 Pokemon, so it makes me happy. But yeah, it's a very, very good Pokemon. Its base stats are wonderful, actually. 120 HP, which is actually quite a lot. 90 attack is okay. 70 defense is meh. 110 special attack is actually pretty decent. 70 special defense, 60 speed's pretty bad, but if you do get in the Trick Room scenario, it can be okay. And additionally, it's, Farigiraf is good enough to make it work. So yes, let's go ahead. We do have a VGC team for it today. It got 4th at San Diego, run by Aaron Brock. And so he's got a Farigiraf on this team, obviously, with safety goggles, the ability Armor Tail. It is Fairy Terra type, 212 HP for VGC reasons, 180 defense for VGC reasons, 76 special attack and 36 special defense. Quiet nature, 0 IVs in attack and speed. It's running Psychic, Dazzling Gleam, Trick Room, and Helping Hand. No Imprison here, but it is just going to set up your Trick Room for you if you want Trick Room, and most of this team actually does. This team actually has 2 very good modes. Which I'm more than happy to delve into. But if you're going slow, you can bring your boy Hariyama holding the Flame Orb. It's got Guts. It terras into Steel if you need to. And it's got 156 HP, 156 attack, 196 special defense, Brave Nature, 0 speed, Close Combat, Fake Out, Knock Off, and Bullet Punch. It is just going to hit hard while you're going slow. I love it. I'm a big fan. This is a lot of fun. But there's a speed mode, which I'll let somebody else take, whoever wants it.
I will take... Well, I'm not sure if the speed mode is the water or the...
Well, the Meowscarada is just there, but...
I'll take the 2 dark types. I'll leave the 2 water types for Mark. That makes sense.
Yeah.
King Gambit is a thing. We've got it with an Assault Vest, ability Defiant, Terra Flying, 252 HP, 196 attack, 4 defense, 20 special defense, 36 speed with an Adamant Nature. We've got Kowtow Cleave, can't miss, deals a bunch of damage, Iron Head, Sucker Punch, and Brick Break. With the Assault Vest, this thing is really defensive and can soak a lot of things. It's got a high base attack, so even without full investment, it does a bunch of damage. Notably, this can get through screens, and under Tailwind, it outspeeds Golden Go. But if you're on the Trick Room mode, it still underspeeds base 60s, which is a lot of things, honestly.
I think that's even Golden Go.
No, Golden Go is like 90.
Is it 90? Wait, no. Golden
It's not
Go's
90, but it's higher than 60.
It's probably 80. Let me look. I need to know what Golden Go is. It's 84. It's 84. You're right.
Long story short, King Gambit is a little monster and does a bunch of damage. This is not using the Supreme Overlord.
No. Defiant's really good.
Yeah, Defiant is very good, particularly Intimidate running around. Very, very strong.
Defiant is very good. Tauros has been seeing a lot of circulation in the meta lately because of Intimidate, and this is very good for that. The Kowtow Cleave also just makes up for most of it.
Yeah, Kowtow Cleave is a nasty move. Also, we've got Meowscarada, because I heard you like auto-hit moves. What if it also auto-crit? 4 HP, 252 attack, 252 speed, Jolly Nature, Protect, Flower Trick, Knock Off, and U-Turn. I mean... what more do you need? It uses U-Turn to switch and deal some damage. It uses Knockoff to deal a bunch of damage. It uses Flower Trick to crit and murder pretty much anything.
Yeah, it's also very good for Dondozo. It just kills Dondozo.
Yes.
Unless it tears into grass or flying or something, but yeah, it'll be fine.
It's got a Focus Sash, which allows it to take a hit, and then you've got Overgrow because Protean nerf doesn't make it bad, but it means there's something really frail that can abuse a sash. Overgrow's probably a little more consistent if all you want to do is spam Flower Trick. All this thing wants to do is spam Flower Trick.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter because you're already a grass type anyway, right? So, and with terrestrialization, you could just do whatever you want anyway. And I don't think Meowscarada's move pool is deep enough to really warrant a lot from Protean. I mean, it gets like Thunder Punch and...
It actually has a pretty broad spectrum. It's just
I'd say it's just about it. I think it's the worst of the 3 Protean starters. I think it's the worst of the 3 Protean starters.
Offensively, on its offense, yes. In terms of utility, it has stuff the other 2 would kill for.
Probably. Well, no. Greninja has everything Greninja wants.
Greninja has everything Greninja wants, but if Greninja could drop a lot of it for an equivalent to Flower Trick, it would.
Potentially. I don't know. Greninja's really good.
I'm not saying Greninja's bad.
All right. Well, we'll take us home, Mark, with the rainy boys.
Yeah. So the other speed option here. Got our good friend Pelipper. We got Drizzle, of course. Terra type is Grass. EVs are 244 HP, 4 defense, 36 special attack, 124 special defense, and 100 speed. Modest Nature. It's got Hurricane, Tailwind, Wide Guard, and Hydro Pump. So, doing that kind of stuff. And to round it all off, we got our Dreadnought friend with Life Orb. We got Swift Swim, of course. Terra type of Grass. EVs are 28 HP, 252 attack, 228 speed. Got Adamant Nature for that extra damage output. It's got Protect, Liquidation, Rock Slide, and Terra Blast. So, yeah, got 2 different speed modes here, which is kind of fun. One's weather. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, this team looks really fun, actually. I'm a big fan. I will try it out on stream this week before we lose all of our things to Series 2 or Season 2. Is it a series? Is it Series 2 or is it Season 2? I don't remember.
It depends on if it's BBC or if it's American television.
Exactly. So I have no idea. All right. But yeah, if you want this team shiny, it'll be up on the Patreon. Probably by the time you're listening to this, because I'm trying to change my workflow. to be more consistent about this for all of you. So it should be up. Make sure you head over there to grab it. Until then, we are going to kick it on over to the mailbag.
It's mail time! Send in your emails! Mail!
Welcome to the mailbag. The mailbag is a part of the show where we read your emails on the show. If you send them in to us at puclpodcast@gmail.com, we got a lot of them actually today, because we asked you guys what your top 5 and bottom 5 dark types were after we had done ours, and I'm excited to see how you disagreed with us. As always, we will give out the green Tauros badge to anybody who writes a great email, so we're gonna dive right in without further ado, I guess. We'll kick things off with an email from the man who's gonna end up telling all of this up anyway into a nice little document, Sleeve. Sleeve's actually really good at PowerPoints, like just very good at collecting data and putting them in PowerPoints.
Hey everyone. I'm glad you've all had I hope you all had a good January and are keeping well. That's a slightly different read there. This week's mailbag has made me realize 2 things. 3 of the most broken starters are all dark types: Greninja, Incineroar, Meowscarada. And 2, I both like and hate a lot of dark types. First, the good bad boys. Mabostiff, reasons, intimidate, biting moves. 120 base attack, is dog, Arven. I'm adding that one, but it is part of it.
I actually like that. Actually, these are good reasons. I'm here.
Yeah, I'm okay with this.
Sableye, sneaky, is goblin, sure.
Uh-huh.
Tyranitar, no explanation needed, sure. Grimmsnarl is goblin, too. You know what? You won me over in the second. Shiftry, Trixie Forest Guardian, what's not to love? I do love the Oni. Not top 5, but I do like him.
Yeah.
Now the bad boys. Thievul, yeah, it's just bad all around. Alolan Persian, why does its head do that? Darkrai. Darkrai, look at it, it's Ghost.
Yeah.
Guzzlord, me and Ultra Beast have never got on. Mega Gyarados, I expect to catch some heat for this, but this was the perfect opportunity to make Gyarados a dragon type, and they messed it up. Anyway, that's all for me. Thanks as always for the great work you do. With peace and love, Sleeve.
I see Mega Gyarados kind of the same vein that I see the Dunsparce.
Really?
It's like kind of a troll, but maybe I'm wrong. And they were just trying to do something different with Gyarados, which I also appreciate from them, instead of just making everything a dragon that everybody thought should be a dragon.
Yes. Yeah, I think there are a lot of dragons, so yeah.
It would be like if they made a Mega Flygon and Mega Flygon was Dragon Bug. You know, I'd be like, oh wow, this is just like a lot of pandering.
I don't know. I don't feel any. I don't like Mega Gyarados, but not because it's a dark type. I don't like it because it looks like, you know, those shrimp where like they open the top, and then that's how I look at Gyarados all the time. Like it looks like a shrimp served butterfly. I don't like it.
I do also think they were taking a lot of inspiration from like older properties, because there wasn't an instance where like the exact Mega Gyarados design just shows up in the anime.
Yeah.
In like a silhouette.
It's a stretch to say, but I know what you're talking about.
I think they do to some extent. I think they do. I mean, it's also 2013, so it wasn't even like as far away from them.
Yeah.
I was going to say, yeah, the distant year of, and then I realized it's been 10 years.
Yeah, it's been a decade. Remember?
Yeah.
Oh, that hurts.
It's been a decade since X and Y.
That hurts me.
Oh, welcome to old age. It's been hurting all of us for a while.
Oh, no. It gets worse from here, too. Oh, no.
Oh, no, it doesn't get better.
Yeah, it doesn't improve.
I feel like what I want to, because I was not on the episode. Mark, you weren't either, I don't believe.
Nope.
I want to say, I really like basically all of the dark types in Gen 9. Most of my favorites were kind of untouched. There were a couple that moved here and there, but I really like Meowscarada. I really like Wo-Chien. I like Wo-Chien more than I like Meowscarada. I can't explain why. It's a lot to do with how silly it is.
I'm a fan of Wo-Chien. People were giving it shade last week, and I was like, I don't know. I think it's kind of endearing.
It's a compost pile, right?
Kind of.
Well, I really like how they turned what they did with the tablets, turning it into a snail shell. It was just I hadn't thought of that. It was a very clever tweak.
I think the way they handled most of it was pretty good, minus the bull, but I still think he's cool too.
Yeah, he's the weakest of the 3, very strong.
Yes, but I still like him. I like Tinglu. I'm a fan. Okay. All right. Next up is going to be an email from Gliscor Gamer. And I'll begin. How's it going, my Puckle pals? It's your boy, Glycor Gamer. Here to give you my top 5 and bottom 5 dark types. I hear that in his voice when I read it, and it's much funnier. But I think it first needs to be stated what I considered makes a dark type truly dark, as that affects my choices. Dark types tends to be mischievous, with some being flat out evil. Their color schemes tend to include blacks, grays, and dark purples. Angry eyes and relations to the night also tend to be part of many designs, while other dark types seem violent. But these traits aren't necessary for a Pokemon to feel dark. Okay, with that out of the way, let's get into the list. Top 5. Qianpao. Best dark type from Gen 9 by far and away. Such a cool design as a Sabertooth, and I love how excited when I saw the treasures for the first time and immediately knew which mythology they were from.
Not the auspicious beasts. They're the opposite of them.
Greninja. I know a lot of people think this Pokemon is more water than dark, but I disagree. His signature water move is based on a ninja design, and its other signature move, Mat Block, is also a sneaky martial arts tactic. Having a connection between the games and the anime with a reason to play with the Sun and Moon demo is also something I'll remember for a long time. Spiritomb is obviously very ghosty, but the whole 108 Vengeful Spirits thing makes it very dark type as well. Very cool design and very cool discovery method in PLA. Crocodile. Cool, mean, land crocodile. One of my favorite Generation 5 mons. Its googly eye or goggle-looking eye shape really bring the design together and is based on a real-world animal trait used by cheetahs and other predators to make it easier to see their prey in the savannah and the desert sun. Alolan Muck. Same reasons as the ones on the podcast. Cool design, cool lore, awesome Pokemon in draft leagues too. Bottom 5. Alolan Raticate. Ugly fat rat. Why did this thing get an original form? Purloin. It's just a cat. It's the only dark type because cats are mean, which is a fact I know to be false. That's true, though. Vullaby. This Pokemon looks like that spoiled child in elementary school who tells you about his dad's golf cart and how his mom makes him milkshakes after school every day.
Dang.
That feels personal.
This is throwing some shade. Yeah, who hurt you, Glycor? Who hurt you?
Yeah, right?
Iron Jugulus. This one is just disappointing. Hydreigon could have gotten such a cool future paradox form, but instead it's just a robot. And its Scarlet Dex entry is not one I'd ever wanted to see and never wanted to breed again.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Zarude. I don't really get why this one's a dark type. I know it's the rogue monkey Pokemon, but it has a whole movie about its incredible kindness, and one of its Dex entries even talks about how it helps the forest. I think it would be better fit as the grass/single dad type.
That's also a dark type.
Everyone knows single dads are evil.
Yeah, we know this. It's a fact.
Especially Australian ones.
And there's my list for the best and worst dark types. I hope it wasn't too long and reasonings were coherent. This is Glycor Gamer, signing off.
So I had to read what the actual Dex entry was, and I think I agree.
Right? Remember how I said look it up on your own time? Look it up on your own time.
This is my own time while we read Marmalade's email, but I need to know now.
Yeah. You want me to read Marmalade?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Marmalade. Hiya papaya puckle. Marm here, and I'm mostly writing for the graph. I've missed out on the last ones and my favorite Pokemon is dark type. So, to start off with the top 5, you did mention Mightyena, but you missed out the superior Poochyena, which, given the option, would be numbers 1 through 4. You also got Obstagoon, but Galarian Zigzagoon is definitely cuter, so that would be my number 5. If you need 3 other options to make a real top 5, my votes go to Umbreon and Absol. Umbreon for the reasons you listing in the previous episodes, and Absol because I was a big fan of the Jirachi movie. Finally, Skuntank because he's the leader of Team Skull from Explorers. As for my bottom 5, I really like the list, except for Cacturn. I love the idea of a scarecrow that stalks the desert at night, and I like the design a lot. And I also definitely think that Zarude deserved to be in that slot instead. That's all from me. Hope everyone has a great week. Marmalade. P.S. Did I take a break from Scarlet to play the new Fire Emblem game? Yes. And it's very fun so far.
All right. Well, thank you guys for all of those emails. Do we think anybody deserves the Green Tauros badge this week?
I don't think anyone deserves anything, ever.
Well, do we want to give the Green Tauros badge to anybody?
I think we should give the Green Tauros badge. It's early enough in the year. They need it.
I thought Glycor's was pretty good, actually.
Yeah, let's do it with Glycor.
Absolutely.
No shade at Marm, but
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Glycor Gamer, you get the Green Tauros badge. And if you want to email us next week, let us know what you think the origin of Paradox Pokemon are. We'd love to hear from you at puclpodcast@gmail.com. Until then, you can catch us at pucldiscord.com. You can follow us on social media over at Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. You can also catch us on stream over at youtube.com/puclpodcast. Additionally, you can help support the show by going over to our Patreon at patreon.com/puclpodcast, where you get a host of cool rewards depending on where you're at in those tiers. But until then, guys, I have been Trainer Thatch.
I've been Lynian.
I'm Mark from the Dunsparce Gang.
And here in the Lavender Town Radio Tower, it's closing time.
Time in Lavender Town. Time to say our goodbyes. It's closing time. Farewell, my friends. I'll catch you on the flip side.